If you lost everything tomorrow, how would you survive? What if I told you there was a way to create an income stream even if you have nothing but a phone and Wi-Fi? See the worker there? Look at this. Hey everyone, welcome back to the video on how to prepare for homelessness using the digital economy as a safety net. I'm your host, Frere Tuck, and I've been chronically homeless for about 25 years, with the last 2 years being especially tough. For almost 3 years now, I've been making money through my YouTube channel, and today I want to share with you how you can do the same thing. To give you a better sense of where I'm coming from, let me tell you a bit about my story. 25 years ago, I suffered from a work accident, and because of that work accident, I became chronically homeless. I spent most of my 20s homeless. I was able to get some stability in my 30s by starting a business, and I thought I would never be homeless again. But with the whole thing that was going on down in the border and me being in Texas with my cleaning business, it made things really rough to the point where I had to shut down my business, and I ended up staying with my parents for about a year. All that to say that I finally came to a conclusion that I'm just going to have to go out on my own. And so I chose to be homeless and to go off and to document my journey along the way, one, and two, share my knowledge of being chronically homeless for the last 25 years on how to be able to survive homelessness. Because if a business like me that was very strong could be taken out by something like that, anybody could be homeless again, no matter how much you prepare. Now that you've heard a bit about my journey, let's talk about why the digital economy can be such a game changer for everyone facing homelessness. Homelessness means not having a stable place to call home, and it comes with challenges like finding work or staying connected. In the digital economy, things like YouTube, freelancing, or online sales can help because you can earn money from anywhere with just a phone or a laptop and some Wi Fi. But how did I figure this out? Let me take you back when I realized this could work for me. Um, a lot of what was happening in 2020 with the shutdowns and the lockdowns is people were going into the digital economy. One of the things that I saw as my business was going under is that, the commercial buildings were not going to be full anymore and things like that. So what I chose to do is to find another way to be able to make money and to rebuild a business that wasn't employee centric. And as I was doing my research, just like I did my research to start my cleaning business, I come to the conclusion that the digital economy is the economy of the future. Your brick and mortar jobs are going to be gone. So if you're going to build yourself something long lasting, if you're going to, have a stable income, going for brick and mortar jobs was just not going to work for me. So I decided to get into the digital economy and try again until finally I have some success. Once I saw the potential, I had to figure out how to get started. Here are the practical steps you can take to set up your own digital presence. So these 5 steps include: one, choose a platform, whether it be YouTube, Patreon, or freelance sites like Fiverr or Upwork, which are very popular. Step 2, set up an account, basic equipment, phone, internet, whatever it is that you need to be able to get online. Step 3, create content, videos about your skills, your experience, or your products, because that is what's going to bring awareness to your product and to your new online business. So without creating some form of content, not meaning that you have to be an influencer, but all businesses are doing some form of content creation because video is king. And step 4, build an audience. Be consistent, engage with your audience, build a personal relationship. The stronger that personal relationship is, the more business you will do, the more stable of an income that you will have. And step number 5 is my own personal one, which is have perseverance, okay? It's not going to work right away. Be resilient. Understand that just like homelessness, when you're getting bombarded upon being told how much of a worthless human being you are, you have to have that same resilience for survival to take it into the digital economy. Because if you don't, you're going to fail. It's going to be hard at first because it's growing pains. It's a learning curve. It's something new. So make sure that you have and you build up a thick skin, and some resilience. For me, getting started wasn't easy. Let me tell you about the first video I made and how it felt. My first video was awkward because I was a homeless person who had been chronically homeless for the last 25 years, but I was trying to procure the prepper audience because preppers are the ones that want to know how to bug out and how to be able to survive. And so the prepping audience was really what I was focusing on, but I didn't really feel that I was a prepper. And some people will call this imposter syndrome, but it's not necessarily imposter syndrome. It's really how you view yourself. The way that I viewed myself was that I was homeless. I was not a prepper. I still consider myself a homeless person, not a prepper. But that's because I get to see the differences and the nuances because I've been on both sides. Most preppers aren't able to distinguish the difference. But it was very awkward when I first started, and it took me a while to be able to get comfortable and to hone in my message. Partly because I had to package what it was that I had to an audience that would be able to take it as authority. And part of what I had to do was just make sure to bridge the gap and not to step outside of my lane, not to pretend that I had knowledge that I didn't. Being homeless comes with its own set of skills, just like being a prepper comes with its own set of skills, its own come from, its own luxuries, its own comforts, and things like that. Every walk of life has that, and being able to distinguish the differences between that was what was able to make it easier for me to be able to communicate to the prepper community. Seeing that money come in was a turning point, but it's not just about starting, it's about making it sustainable. Here's how you can turn your online presence into real income. First, if you're on a digital platform, you're going to be looking at ad revenue, especially when you're looking at the YouTube partner program or other partner programs depending upon the different platforms. But one of your avenues of money will be the AdSense or ad revenue from that point. So you as an individual need to understand that that's not going to be your main source of income, but it is something that trickles in that kind of helps you with your foundation. The second is sponsorships or donations. As you're starting out, you may be able to say, hey, look, if you'd like to contribute to the channel, go ahead and leave me a tip in my tip jar, which is, for me, it used to be down in my description. Now, if you want to leave me something, you got to put a super thanks and say, hey, man, we really appreciate what it is that you do. Much appreciated. Okay. But subscriptions and donations, especially when you're kind of grasping at straws, that may be something to help you stabilize your ship, but also realize that it is not something that you can lean on for a long period of time, because people only want to help for either a short period of time or because they want to see a specific outcome. And eventually that money will dry up, either because of economics or just because if you're not moving forward in a progression style. And then number three is going to be selling your products, selling your services. Like for me, you can come on over to aihomesteader.com and you can go into my shop. I have some digital downloads there that you can buy that contributes to help support me and through the channel. You can also come over to Patreon and get one of my many memberships, because products, services, memberships, stuff like that, being able to sell little courses on honed in skills that you have that are really good that people want to learn. This will be pretty much where you make most of your money. Your money will be coming mostly from sponsorships and selling your own products. And at first it'll come mostly from selling your own products, and you will end up being your own sponsor. But as over time, if you just continue to plug along, you will be able to get sponsorships. But it's not all smooth sailing. Let me share with you one of the biggest hurdles I hit along the way. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to tell you, how do you build a YouTube channel? How do you build an online business? And sometimes I wonder if these people have any real experience. There are some that have experience, like vidIQ and Think Media, but they're really just teaching people how to get monetized, and they are kind of giving the myth that monetization is the key to unlimited riches, when in reality, the key to unlimited riches is to be able to pick up sponsors, to be able to create your own products, and to be able to create almost like a cult like following for people that want to follow you, because those are going to be the people that buy your products, buy your services, and contribute to your content by giving you views. And so Really, the views are until you get monetized, views don't really matter. It's all about subscribers and watch time. But once you get monetized, at least on the YouTube platform, stop worrying about subscribers, stop worrying about watch time. It's all about views, because you get paid per view, not by per subscriber. You get paid per view, not by how long they watch it. Now, it does play into the algorithm and the metrics and stuff like that, and this is kind of how YouTube is training you. But you know, the biggest thing that I misunderstood, because I listened to the wrong people, is that YouTube is just, it's all about AdSense. No, AdSense is probably about 1 to 5% of any successful creator's income. But in the beginning, it's what supports you. So therefore, that's what the gurus focus on. If you're going to start something like this now, my strongest suggestion is that um, my suggestion is that you focus on building an online business, and you will get monetized along the way. Focus on the business part, and the rest will come. The customers will come, the viewers will come, the monetization will come, the money will come. So even with these tricks, staying motivated can be the hardest part. So here's how I kept it going. Mostly just being perseverance. Perseverance is probably the key to success in the digital economy, because especially if you're like me and you're over 40, your learning curve is a lot steeper. You aren't native to technology. You have a lot of obstacles that you're going to have to overcome. And so that may mean a slower start. But one thing that I learned when I was in sales a long time ago is I would always start off and I would suck wind the whole time. Or not the whole time, but maybe for the first 2 or 3 weeks. But by the end of that 30th day, I was outproducing everybody on my team, to the point where I would definitely become the top guy in the office, whether I was doing phones or whether I was, doing in-person business to business direct sales, whatever it was. Um, and so this is, if you were somebody that it feels like you're struggling and you're wondering why, what it means is that you need to continue to self-educate, because there's a learning curve, and this is how you're going to persevere. Okay, instead of blaming the algorithm, instead of blaming this and that, blame yourself. There is some part that the algorithm plays into this, but in reality, 80%, 70 to 80% of it is in your control. That drive to keep going is what ties it all together. Let's wrap up with some final thoughts. So, what's stopping you from taking control of your future today? Let's just really be honest with ourselves. Look at the economy. 250,000 jobs last year were taken by AI. There are businesses that are talking about how AI is already doing 20% of what their previous workforce did. So now they've cut their workforce by 20%. As AI evolves into something greater, your job is going to be less and less stable. If you're not creating some sort of side hustle, some sort of side income, in the event that AI takes your job out, that you are displaced for one reason or another, if you do not take that moment to really look at the writing on the wall and start dabbling on it. I understand you may be over 40 like me, and you're looking at it and go, man, I just spent the last 20 years in the workforce. I got 20 more years left. I don't want to learn anything new. I've already retooled myself. I'm basically just trying to coast into retirement. Well, you know what? That is not possible with this revolution. If you've got more than 10 years left in the workforce, if you even got more than 5 years left in the workforce, you should consider having something like this, just for your own peace of mind, for your own stability. Nobody wants to be homeless. And if you can avoid it, or if you can prepare for it by having this side income, because then if you lose your job, now you've already got some revenue to keep your head above water. And then you can focus full time on that versus having it be a side hustle. So it's there as your fail safe. In the same way that you have a fire extinguisher in case there's a fire, hopefully never a fire, but just in case. Well, same way with this. It's a 500 extra bucks until you actually need it. Okay, so you could put it off in savings and so on and so forth, and kind of help, uh, you know, fortify your preparations. But with all that being said, guys, thanks for being here. I do a live stream every evening at 8 p.m. Eastern time, where I do updates, news, and we talk about digital homesteading and AI, and then have an open topic. So I would encourage you to join me Tuesday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on my live stream. Thanks for being here, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.